Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to make this really simple and easy owl pattern. It is also called as a pocket hug. You can also turn it into a keychain or a bookmark. And there are two ways of attaching the eyes. You can use a bead like it is shown here, or you can use these googly eyes. And one more thing is that this owl, the body of the owl pattern is made without reattaching any yarn, so it's like in one go itself you can make the entire body and just stitch in the beak, the claws, and stick the eyes. So let's get started with this pattern. So I'll be using a yarn from the brand called as LovLim. So more details about the yarn used, the hook size, and the things required for today's video will be available in the description. So do refer to the description as well for more details. So this is the hook that is 3.5 mm that I'm going to use today. And I'm going to use this yarn first to make a magic ring. So I wind this yarn twice over two of my fingers, then I chain one. So after chaining one, I take the ring out of my fingers, and now this is called as a magic ring. I'm going to chain three first, and after that I'm going to make 19 treble crochet into the magic ring. So this is a treble crochet. So for a treble crochet you will be yarning over twice, so second time, and pulling a loop under the magic ring and pulling through two loops at a time for three sets. So this is the second set, this is the third set. Yarn over twice, pull under the loop, pull through the first set, the second set, and the third set. So similarly we will be making a total of 19 treble crochet, including the first chain that we had made. We should have a total of 20 treble crochet because the first chain we are considering as treble crochet. So by the end of the round you should have a total of 20 stitches. So continue this till you have a total of 20 treble crochet. So as you keep making the treble crochets, you can keep reducing the size of the magic ring also by pulling the tail yarn a bit, so that the ring is not too big and it is easy to hold the ring while you are making the treble crochets over it. So once you are done with making a total of like 20 treble crochet including the chain, you will pull the tail yarn and pull it as tight as possible and close the magic ring as much as possible. So after that we will insert our hook back into this loop of the last stitch, and now we are going to slip stitch to the top of our first stitch. So this is the chain, but we're not gonna stitch it to the chain, but we're gonna stitch it on the next stitch, that is the we'll be skipping the chain, and the chain is not going to be considered as a stitch. So we will have 19 stitches overall. Now we're going to chain 3 and make 2 treble crochet into the same stitch. So the stitch in which we made the chain of 3, we're going to make 2 treble crochet into it. So this is the first treble crochet, and now this is the second treble crochet. Now on top of this second treble crochet we will be making a chain 4 picot. So for that, first make a chain of 4. Now insert your hook into the base 2 loops. So these are the base 2 loops of this chain. Insert your hook there and pull through it, and then make a slip stitch. So that's a chain 4 picot. Now make 2 treble crochet into the next stitch. So this is the first treble crochet, and this is the second treble crochet. Now chain 3 and slip stitch into the same stitch. Now we'll move on to the next stitch. So make a slip stitch into the next stitch. We're going to repeat the same pattern again. So chain 3, make 2 treble crochet into the same stitch. So this is the second treble crochet. Make a chain 4 picot. So for that, first make a chain of 4. Then insert your hook into the base of this chain, so under these 2 loops, and then make a slip stitch. Now again make 2 treble crochet in the next stitch. So this is the first, and this is the second. Now make a chain of 3 and slip stitch into the same stitch. So now we have made the area for the eyes and the these 2 sections for the eyes, and we have the picot which acts as the ears of the owl. Now we're going to make the wing of the owl. So this is the first wing. So for that, first make a slip stitch. Now make a chain of 2 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Now make a chain of 3 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Now make another chain of 3 and slip stitch to the next stitch. Make a chain of 2, slip stitch to the next stitch, and just a slip stitch into the next stitch. So this is one side of the wing ready. Now we're going to next make the tail of the owl. So for that, we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and after that we are going to chain 5 and then make a double treble crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over 3 times and pull through 2 loops at a time, and do this for 4 sets. So into the next stitch, now make 3 double treble crochet into the same stitch. So this is the first double treble crochet. So pull through the first set, the second set, the third set, and the fourth set. Now yarn over thrice again into the same stitch, pull through the first set, the second set, the third set, and the fourth set, and this is the third double treble crochet into the same stitch, and pull through these 4 sets 2 at a time. Now into this next stitch, we are going to make 1 double treble crochet first, and after that we are going to chain 5 and then we are going to slip stitch into the same stitch. So here the tail of the owl is ready, and now we are going to make the next wing. So for that, first slip stitch into the next stitch, make a chain of 2 and slip stitch into the next stitch, make a chain of 3, slip stitch into the next stitch, make another chain of 3, slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 2, slip stitch into the next stitch, and finally one slip stitch into the last stitch. Now we are going to just chain 1, pull the yarn tight so that it forms a knot, and trim off the tail yarn. So as you can see, in one go, without having to reattach any yarn, we made the body of the owl, and now we just have to stitch in the claw, the beak, and then stick the eyes. So here I am using a needle and stitching in the tail yarn. So for this tail yarn, stitch it into a stitch on the back side, pull it through few of the existing stitches, and then insert it into a group of stitches so that the end gets hidden, and then trim it off. So here you can see, as you can see, the tail yarn does not poke out. Similarly for this also, insert through few set of existing stitches and then trim off. So here the body of the owl is ready. Now we are going to stitch the beak and the claw. So I'm using orange, or you can use a yellow yarn also. So insert this needle into this 5th stitch, and then pull it through the center stitch or at the bottom. Now insert it into the other part, into the 8th stitch, and through the center again. Now put one stitch across in this manner. Now fill up the gap in the middle. So there is no right or wrong way in doing this. You just have to make a triangle shape for the beak. So now after making the border, we're just filling in the space in between. So I placed 2 more stitches, vertical stitches, and into this space in the center I'm going to place 1 more vertical stitch. So here I feel the space is filled enough and it looks like a beak, so I'm going to stop, and I'm just going to tie a knot at the back side of the owl. So place a knot between the 2 tail yarns, and you can trim off, and now you can just pull through few stitches and then trim off the excess yarn. Similarly, this is a shorter yarn, so I am using a crochet hook, pulling through one of the existing stitches and trimming it off. So here the beak is ready. Now we're going to make the claws. So the claws, we are going to place them over a small branch. So for the branch, you can either use a toothpick. Here I am using a broken piece of a chopstick. So insert your needle into the, you have 4 stitches over which we made the tail. So into the first stitch just above the tail, insert the hook, and we'll be making 3 stitches to look like a claw. So 1 stitch you pass it through the center, then 1 stitch you can pass it through the last stitch, and the last stitch you can place it through the 3rd stitch. So just spread the 3 stitches in this manner. Similarly for the other claw also, pull the yarn through the last stitch just over the wing, and make 3 stitches in a manner such that they look like claws. So there is no right or wrong way of doing this also. You can use the exact stitches over which I made the stitches, or you can do it your way. And here too, you can tie the tail ends on the back side. So just place few knots, and after that you can pull the tail yarn through few of the existing stitches and then trim it off. So here we are done with the owl, the claws and the beak and the body of the owl. Now we're going to make the eyes. So here for eyes, the first I'm going to show you how to use googly eyes. So you get this ready-made googly eyes. You can buy them from Amazon or any other craft shop. For this you can just use fabric glue. So here I'm placing some fabric glue and sticking them just near the beak here. Similarly for the other eye also, place some fabric glue and stick it right next to the beak. So here our cute little owl is ready. Now if you do not have googly eyes, you can also use black beads. So I'll teach you how to do that. So these are two black beads which I'm gonna use. So use a black thread into this stitch that is right next to the beak and pull through it as shown here. So you can do 2 rounds so that the eyes are stitched properly, and then trim it off at the back. Similarly on the other side also, pull it through one of the stitches like this, through the top and the bottom. You can do 2 rounds of stitching through the bead so that it is secure, and place a knot at the back and then trim off the excess. So here you can see like both the owls, they look super cute, and it is so like it's so easy to make them. Like you can make them within few minutes and use them as gifts, or you can even make it into a bookmark, a wall hanging, or a keychain. So I hope you liked today's video. Do subscribe and click on the bell icon for notifications and give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day, guys.